3 days ago, I put up a video talking about how I would no longer compare Kobe and Mike and Kawhi in the same breath. And I got some blowback from that, right? Saying I was being emotional and all that. And that pisses me off when people say that shit, man. Like I'm not analyzing shit and just coming to my own conclusion. You don't even respect me enough to just say, okay, well maybe he did that. Oh, you're just some big emotional nigga. True Raw Hulk, smash little Kawhi. He don't show big in big game. Off good list, down on bad list. True Raw Hulk, the strongest there is. Paul George, airball, bad. But we saw what happened in Game 7, and as mad as I was, and as shocked as I was, I had a feeling. That's why I put it in the video right after it. I had a sinking suspicion, a creeping suspicion that Denver was going to win. And the reason why I feel like Denver was going to win was the body language of the two teams. That's why when you have a 3-1 lead, any championship coach, any championship player knows that you got to put that team out of its misery immediately. Okay, I don't want to hear excuses about conditioning and depression and woe is me, we in this bubble. I can't live my millionaire pampered life the way I want to live it. We don't have no fucking sympathy for you. 200,000 people now have died of coronavirus across this country. Okay, and a lot of them live in impoverished and fucked up areas or environments. You think we'll give a fuck about some millionaires who are protected from this virus, where everybody else got to fend for themselves? You better get out there and do your fucking job. I don't hear that shit. Jokic and them dudes came in this year. They're in excellent shape. Jokic came out, Jokic used to look like goddamn baby Huey, and this dude fucking damn near got a six pack. Jamal Murray put on 10 pounds of muscle this year. Them guys not playing. And Ticket is right too. Shout out to Ticket TV. If you're not subscribed to Ticket TV, better subscribe to Ticket TV. All right? He's right. Laker fans are hee and ha ha right now, and LeBron fans are hee and ha ha. But y'all gonna fuck around and be just like fucking Clippers if y'all Lakers fuck around. And you better believe if the Lakers lose, oh, I'm coming at that ass. I don't think it's gonna happen, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. Now, back to this line of thinking. Okay, back to this subject. I'm Max Kellerman. I don't know what's going on with him, man. Why he always like tries to prop up people by bringing down Kobe. I don't know what Kobe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But he's trying to make excuses for Kawhi by saying, "Well, Kobe did this." Okay, number one, he brought up, well, Kobe also blew a 3-1 lead against the Phoenix Suns. Anybody that watched basketball back then, okay, knows that was even though Kobe was on that team, yes, that was arguably either the worst or one of the two worst rosters in the history of the Lakers franchise. The only time I can think of a roster being that terrible for the Lakers would be maybe right before Elgin Baylor joined the team, between the era of George Mike and the Baylor, when the team was hemorrhaging money and the Lakers almost folded as a franchise. And Elgin Baylor saved that franchise. We didn't know that Elgin Baylor saved the Lakers franchise. They still had to end up relocating to Los Angeles. They used to be in Minneapolis. But that team was losing. They was terrible. But in the modern era, that 2006 roster outside of Kobe, maybe Lamar Odom, that team stunk. And they held a 3-1 lead against the Suns, who were maybe the most exciting team to watch in basketball at the time. It'll be like the equivalent of the Pacers having a 3-1 lead against Denver right now. First of all, you'd be like, and they blew it. You'd be like, well, why the fuck Denver was down 3-1 anyway to this team? That's what I keep trying to tell people, like, that don't go against Kobe's legacy because, if anything, that counts towards his legacy. Because he had that team on the verge of beating that team anyway. I mean, do people, I mean, good God, like, can't people analyze shit at all? That'll be like Malcolm Brogdon and Oladipo. Well, he didn't play. But that'll be like Malcolm Brogdon putting the Pacers on his back. He's not that type of player, but I'm just saying. And having 40 and 50-point games and hitting the game with it to have the team of 3-1, but it was just too much. And Denver overcame it. Do we think that would really count against Brogdon's legacy? Seriously? If you are saying that, then your ass need to try to play fucking team basketball and try to carry a team by yourself when every fucking the opposing defense is geared toward you and at you almost at all times. Then he brought up the fact that Kobe didn't shoot well in Game 7 of the 2010 NBA Finals. All right. Look, first of all, the simple response to that is who won? Who won that series versus who won versus the Clippers and the Nuggets? Secondly, in 2010, that was an evenly matched series. You know what I'm saying? Really no prohibitive favorites. Although LA did have home court advantage, it wasn't like it was in the bag for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Boston could easily have won that series. In fact, Boston did have a 3-2 lead. But then they blew it in fucking Game 6 when they could have won it at home. And then in Game 7, I think it was Game 7, that's when they fucking lost. I think Game 6 was at home. I'm trying to think, had they already switched from the 2-3-2 format by then? I think they did. I can't remember. But anyway, that ain't the point. The point is, this is the difference. That was an evenly matched series. The Clippers were favored to beat Denver. Heavily favored. Okay? Heavily favored. Number two, yeah, Kawhi shot 6 of 22. Kobe shot 6 of 24. But here are some distinct differences. Nowhere in this series did you see any evidence of Kawhi's leadership and its effect on his teammates. You could see that clearly with Kobe and his teammates. Especially when you look at the development of that knucklehead, Andrew Bynum. Okay? And really Pau Gasol. Okay? Like James Nolabor would say, Kobe, made Pau a killer. That dude wasn't no killer with Memphis. He made him a killer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nola Boy. But yeah, Kobe's leadership, just playing under him, playing with him, he molded Powell into being a better performer and a better player, giving him the confidence to perform in the playoffs and making him tougher. You know what I'm saying? Making him a more aggressive player, giving that extra effort. And also, yeah, Kobe shot bad, but Kobe also had 15 rebounds. How many rebounds did Kawhi have? I don't think he had any. Not many. Like Jokic had all the rebounds, right? Kobe had 15 rebounds, and he shot 11 to 15 from the foul line, meaning that he knew that his shot wasn't going in, but to get his points, somehow, some way, he went to the foul line. So even though he shot 6 of 24 from the floor, okay, wasn't shooting the ball that well at all, he still wound up with 23 points as opposed to 14 for Kawhi because he went to the foul line. And more importantly than anything else I'm saying, he did his job on the defensive end. See, unlike a guy like Jamal Murray, who I knew was due for a big game and had 40, on the other end, Ray Allen, 3 of 13, Paul Pierce, 5 of 15. And that's how you win a championship. Michael Jordan didn't always have huge games and elimination games. Most of the times he had a good game or a great game or But a lot of times Michael didn't shoot well. Game 7 in 1998 against the Pacers, he was only 9-25 from the floor. But he also had 9 rebounds, 5 assists, played great, excellent defense, and got to the foul line. And he made the key plays down the stretch, key rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Making great passes when he was double teamed to Luke Longley. You know what I'm saying? So he could hit that, hit that jumper to give them a 4 or 5 point lead down the stretch. Those are championship plays that great players make, even when they're not having an A+ game. They still make A+ decisions down the stretch. You didn't see any of that with Kawhi. None of that in these last 3 games. When they were up 3-1 or going up 2-1, you saw it. But when the pressure was really there, you didn't really see it. You didn't see it at all. There are sometimes in the game, I was looking at the game yesterday, I forgot Kawhi was even on the floor. And that's why I will never compare him with those dudes. As a matter of fact, right now, Kawhi is not even in my top 5. The way Luka Doncic played in the playoffs, he's below Luka Doncic right now. And I'm serious about that shit. Because that regular season shit, that shit don't faze me. It might faze some of you younger guys, but I keep telling y'all, the playoffs is what separates the great players from the good players from the average players. And sometimes those numbers in the regular season, that shit don't mean shit. Now, Kawhi want to redeem himself, man. You got a whole another year to do it. LeBron did. After 2011, everybody was on LeBron. I went a whole year saying LeBron was just another good player until he redeemed himself. And I said he was the best again. You know what I'm saying, for a couple of years. But nah. Because I can look at Kawhi like, I'm hard on him right now, but I know Kawhi has that potential. We've seen it. But this year, nah, man. Disappointment. Big time. I don't hear no excuses. None. And I'm going to tell you why I'm the way that I am about that. I remember when Michael Jordan came out of retirement in 95, right? And the way that he struggled against the Orlando Magic, and we would have debates about that shit, my friends at the time, I had to concede that Mike wasn't the best player in the league anymore. You can't go off of, yeah, but look what he did in the past. But this ain't the past. I had to concede that at that time, Akeem Olajuwon was the best player in the NBA. And to be honest with you, at the time, I said Penny Hardaway was better than him. But Mike went to the lab that off season, worked on his conditioning, worked on his game, got back in tremendous shape, and he reclaimed his position as the best player in the NBA. So until Kawhi shows that, nope. Right now, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, um, Jokic right now, um, fucking Luka Doncic, uh, shit. I'm tempted to fucking say Jamal Murray. All those dudes better than him right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for an all-time great player, all-time great, a guy that some people are saying could be a top 10, 15. No, what I saw, that was unacceptable for a guy to be at that level, to play like absolute shit. I can't believe I actually thought this motherfucker was on their level. What the fuck? That will never happen again. You're gonna have to, you know what? From now on, I need to see consistency. To be at that table with these Kobe and the Mikes and the Magics, you got to win at least 4 championships. And if I don't see, I don't give a fuck how much media hyperbole. Y'all can call me the biggest fucking hater in the world. I'm gonna need to see 4 championships before you even in that conversation. Minimum, minimum. I don't give a fuck if you have a magical playoff run where you look like Mike and all. Fuck that shit. I won't be fooled again. I need to see consistency. That shit was luck. Maybe that motherfucker had a rabbit's foot and some more shit in his fucking pocket. You know what I'm saying? Some horseshoes, a rabbit's foot, a goddamn 4-leaf clover. He had all that shit last year, man, with the Raptors. Fuck that shit, man. White supremacy. He had all that shit on his side with those. I don't know, man. But nah, that motherfucker no. That's all I gotta say, though.